Everybody, welcome into the show tonight. I'm Brian Keating. He's Carson Cunningham. It is time
for Crashing the Boards.
A little abbreviated version because we had the Oscars and some of the scheduling a little wonky here on a Sunday night. We'll get right into it because I think a really entertaining couple of games back after the All-Star break. Thunder Jazz, maybe the best game in the NBA, and then last night against the Kings, again, down to the wire, last-second shot. What'd you think of Oklahoma City and moving forward as well?
Well, I mean, I'm not one for moral victories, but let's just put it like this. Over the past 2 seasons, a team coming off a double overtime game on the second game of a back-to-back, they're 0-6 now.
Right.
They were 0-5 coming into that Thunder game. So I'm going to give them a little bit of a pass for losing to the Kings, who I think are pretty good.
I think they're going to make the playoffs.
I think you're right about that. So, I mean, it's one of those what we call schedule losses, but I think it's very encouraging for this reason, Brian, and really for the season moving forward, because what we're seeing now is vintage Russell Westbrook.
Yep.
We've been asking all season long, what's wrong with Russell's shot? Where's his offense? Can the Thunder win in the playoffs with them shooting like this? Well, he scored 40 points in 3 of the past 4 games. That dog will hunt.
Yep.
So obviously we talk about Paul George here in a second, but I think Russell has really regained his confidence going to the basket. That is crucial. He had what looked like was the game-tying bucket against the Kings. They called a charge. Could have gone either way, but this bodes very well. And I know everyone's talking about how the Thunder have the toughest schedule remaining. I think that's a good thing. They play their best when they're playing the best teams in the NBA.
I agree with that, and we're right on the same. Russ back. Are we about to see this Russell Westbrook for the rest of the season? If the answer is yes, boy, this team turns into a team that I don't think anybody in the Western Conference wants to see in the playoffs, and they're probably there already because of the things they can do defensively, and Paul George has been sensational. But if Russell Westbrook continues to shoot it like this, he's not shooting in the 80s as far as his free throw percentage, but he's getting it to a much more manageable 75% range in this stretch where he's played. So if this Russell Westbrook is what we see the rest of the year, boy, I like this Oklahoma City Thunder team. My only question about that, just 12 assists in the last 2 games for Russ. So scoring good, still passing good too.
Falling in love with the 3 a little bit.
Yep, I agree.
He's shooting it better.
He's shooting it better.
But
so
he does fall in love with the 3.
When they're going in, it doesn't make it. Here's what's coming up next for Oklahoma City. And you mentioned it, toughest schedule in the league, and you got some monsters on there. Denver on Tuesday, that going to be any fun?
That's a huge game. They're trailing Denver for the 2 seed. I don't know if they can catch them, but hey, you beat them, you got a much better chance. And then I can't wait to see Joel Embiid come to town. Every time him and Russ get on the same floor,
he might not
it's
play
trash
though. He's a little
talk
banged
city.
up.
Yeah, you're right.
We'll see. But the Denver game, very important.
He'll talk trash on the bench.
Denver game important, one, because of the playoff standings, and it looks like, if things continue to shake out this way, looks like that's who Oklahoma City's going to play in the playoffs in the second round if they were to get there. So I mean, a lot of basketball yet to be played.
Absolutely.
But,
tough schedule remaining.
Tough schedule remaining. I want to bring up Paul George, and what he has done over the last 2 or 3 months has been sensational. The game he had on Friday night to beat the Utah Jazz. What do you think of PG? We've talked about him a lot. Look, what else do you say? But
yeah, I mean,
unbelievable.
I have something else to say. It was the 440th home game, regular season home game in the Thunder's history here in Oklahoma City. I thought it was as good or better than any game we've ever seen in the history of the Thunder franchise. So 440 is my number on the board, a 440th game. And I think you can make a case it was the best individual performance you've seen. When you factor in the defense Paul George plays time in, time out, the fact he took over when Russell Westbrook was out with foul trouble, the game winner, the floater over the best defensive player in the NBA year in, year out. But how about this? First teammate since 1983 to score 40 points, have 5 rebounds and 5 assists in the same game. What they're doing is on the same level that Russell and Kevin used to do. It's on the same level that Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen used to do. They're 2 of the best players, best duos we've ever seen.
I went back and I looked at Kevin Durant's 2014 season because I wanted a comparison of the best players at their peak in Thunder franchise history. And I think there's a great case to be made that, as well as Paul George is playing right now, that he is the best player, this version, in Thunder franchise history. Now, I'm not talking historically. I just mean right now what they're doing for their teams. Kevin averaged about 32 points a game in that season, which is more than PG. But Paul's ability on defense to be the best defensive player in the league, what he is doing, you can make a case. And you can pick one of those 2, Kevin back then or what PG is doing right now. But it's a mouthful just to be able to compare those things, and that PG's in the conversation of having the best season and being the best player ever to to play in Oklahoma City.
This stretch is in the pantheon. You think back to the Slim Reaper era, that where he had won the MVP.
And that's the year.
The Russell Westbrook, Clutchbrook, the triple doubles. So you're right. It's in the pantheon what he's doing right now.
It's going to be fun to watch the rest of the season. I do, and we should mention this, because the biggest sporting event of the weekend that didn't have to do with the Oklahoma City Thunder here in Oklahoma City was wrestling. We don't say that often. Oklahoma State and Iowa in a jam-packed house in Stillwater. That was fun.
Well, it says historic Gallagher-Iba Arena on the front of the building for a reason. Gallagher Hall was a historic place for wrestling. I think we saw that again. I thought it was so cool. They turned into Penn State. They're chasing Penn State for the national championship. They were pinning Iowa all over the mat. I loved it. And it was really an historic event, the sold-out arena.
Yeah.
It was a callback to the historic wrestling matches we've had at Gallagher-Iba through its history. It was unbelievable to watch.
We don't get to see Gallagher-Iba look like that as often as we used to for wrestling or basketball or anything like that. But Gallagher-Iba is still alive. And when it's alive, there's really no place else that's like that. And Gallagher was unbelievable today. Oklahoma State, boy, they were awesome. And so it's fun to watch the wrestling.
Special place. That was fun to watch.